Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Jenofeve Designs. Today I'm going to show you how I did the foiling on my black and white background designs. Okay, so a couple months ago I released a set of black and white background designs. There is 8 background designs, but some of them have directions, so they have both directions in them. So I think there's 12 total. Like there's 2 of the distress stripe, there is 2 of the script, 2 of the diamond, 2 of the stripe. Yeah. This was part of the semi-annual background design release. That was a video from 2 months ago. I will link it up here and down below if you want to check it out. But this is still available where all the other background designs are not available currently, but this set is still available. But you get, when you purchase the set of background designs, you get a 8.5 by 11 PDF, you get a 12 by 12 PDF, and you get a 13 by 19 PDF. So you get all 3 sizes depending on the printer that you have, so you can print whichever way you want to print. Well, when I showed that video, I showed ones that I'd printed and then foiled. And I promised you guys I would show you guys how I did that. And it's super, super, super simple. So easy. Well, let me show you some differences in the background design. First thing, if you want to foil with a machine, you need to use like a toner-based printer. So a laser printer is what I used to get the foil to stick. You can take it to like office supply stores, things like that. They can print it. There is I think Heidi Swap is the one who makes the Mink. So I have a Mink and I also have a laminator. But you can also get, like, there's pens, you can get ink pads, stuff like that. I don't have any of that. Everything that I have currently in my possession, except for the laminator, which I'll talk about that in a minute, I bought 3 years ago when I made my son and daughter-in-law. So my son got married 3 years ago. So I made their wedding invitations. And I used gold foil on these little jar inserts. And then on the other side, I don't want to show you information here. So then on the other side, I used gold foil on the vellum. See that there? Over top of their little faces. So if you want to see this video, I will link it up here and down below. Again, it was 3 years ago. So I had everything that I'm going to show you here in this video, I bought 3 years ago. But I think that's okay because I'm pretty sure I checked everything is still available. The Mink's available, the foil's available, all of that. So we're good to go. But there are new products out. I just haven't used them. And I don't have any other colors. I have 4. I have 4 colors. I have like a rose gold, a shiny gold, a matte champagne gold, and a white. Those are the 4 that I have. And I bought them all at Hobby Lobby back then. So, and back then they were $10 for each one. Let's see, it says works with Mink medium. So maybe there was more things out back then that I just didn't know about or didn't look into. I don't know. But anyway, so they come in on rolls. I think they even come on sheets and everything. So those are the foils that I have. So, okay, so back to my printables. So these are printable background designs. So I've got 2 stacks here. And the reason for that is one of the stacks I printed on my laser printer, but the color setting was still on. And the other stack is I printed on my laser printer, but then I printed it in grayscale. I don't know how well you're going to be able to tell I can't tell on the monitor of my camera, but the one that still has the color setting on is a bit of a warm toned, where the one that's printed in grayscale is more of a cool tone. It's actually blacker. So if you're going to do foiling or you want blacker black, is that a thing? I don't know, blacker black, I guess it is. You want to go ahead and turn on that grayscale setting. You want it to print in grayscale. You do not want to print color. You don't want it to print with color included in the black. So there's the 2 differences. And sometimes you might want this warmer toned black. It might go better with your paper collection. So you need to keep those both in mind. So this here is the thumbnail to this set of background designs. And that's what I did. I just printed I actually printed all of them separately, just for demonstration. I already had them printed for the original video, but I did go ahead and print these 2 thumbnails for this video. But anyway, so that's what I did. So now you can see the difference. So when you go to work on a project, you can look and see which one you like best. But if you're going to be doing foiling, I would suggest turning the grayscale on and print. I have to print on a laser. You have to use a toner-based product. Okay, so I'm just going to set these aside for right now, and I'm going to show you some of the things I created to show you for demonstration purposes. Okay. So these are what I showed you in the video. This is a tag. I printed off one of my pastel vintage collage. This one was purple. And then I printed the script on the back and then I foiled it. Look how pretty that is. Is that not beautiful? These will make great accents in any project, in any album, in any junk journal, in anything. Okay? So it's just beautiful. Okay, and then here is, I printed, this is a piece of coffee stain paper. This is 11 by 17 coffee stain paper. I ran it through my printer and printed I ran it literally just like this through my printer and printed the script, and then I foiled it. Now it didn't foil completely, but I love the way it looks. It's really hard to show you, but I just love the way this looks. It's so pretty. So there's that. And here I printed on the back of some scrapbook paper. So this was, what was this? Apricot honey, I believe. And it had foil on it. So I printed the script on the back side of that. Can you tell the script is my favorite for foiling? I don't know why, it just is. I printed on the back side of that and then foiled it. And look how pretty that is. Isn't that pretty? And then here is, this one is the Pretty Mosaic. We're getting ready to start using this. But I printed the black stripes on the back, the mini stripes on the back of that, and then foiled it. But it's hard for you to tell. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but even in the foiling, I had used this piece of foil so many times, over and over and over, that there's script. Let me see if I can get really close. Can you see in the foiling? Do you see that text? And there's some script and stuff. There's other impressions. I thought that was so cool. So maybe we'll do that today and see if we can't or duplicate that look on something else. So there's that piece. And then here is the text. This is just white cardstock. The text, then foiled. I will have linked everything below if you want to check it out. And then there is the collage, the original collage, the first collage background design. Just printed on white cardstock, and look how pretty that foiled. Isn't that neat? It's just really, really neat. It's just really pretty. Okay, so those are the things I showed you in that video. And then here's some of the things that I prepped for this video. So this is just a regular, ordinary number 10 office envelope that I ran through my printer, printed the diamond check on there, because you know my printer, I don't know if everybody's printer does this, but you can choose a letter setting, like an envelope, I'm sorry, like an envelope setting, and you can literally print directly onto your envelopes. Well, that's what I did with this, and I thought it kind of went askew, but I don't care. So I ran it through we'll do it again. I'll foil this one in this video. I ran it through the printer, printed it, you know, on, and then I inked it up and distressed it heavily, or no, I'll take that back. I ran it through the printer first, and then I foiled it, and then, see how pretty, and then I inked it up and distressed it, made it look like coffee stained envelope, even though it's not. I just use ink, and it just looks so pretty. We're gonna have to be, I think we're gonna be doing this technique in our upcoming album. And then I did like a little wax seal right there in purple. I just thought it was really pretty. So there's one thing you can do. And then I printed on the, this is acetate. I will show you. I will have it linked below, but I'll show you. This was the Duralar, but you can, whatever transparency thingy you have, as long as it's good for laser. I printed, actually on the back side you could see, I printed the script on that, and then I attached it, I sewed it down. This is one of the large envelopes, the size 8 envelopes in the Basically Amazing. So I traced the front part of this envelope onto that acetate, and now I've got a clear pocket full of add-on photo mats, but it's so pretty looking. It's just that little bit. Oops. It's that little bit of something something. It just makes it pop. And then I put a magnet closure, and then there is a wax seal, and then I think, yeah, that's the gold wax. I don't think I buffed it to shine it up, but anyway, so I did that. This is one of the pastel vintage too. This is the purple, right? Doesn't that look neat? And then this could be used as pockets or inserts or tags. Even the back kind of looks kind of cool. So there's what the front looks like, and there's what the back. So you want to keep all your pieces. So I made that. So what I did was I took the thumbnail from my Etsy listing. You can literally hit that picture of that thumbnail. It's the first picture, the thumbnail. Open it up, sort of, you know, it makes a bigger picture. Then you can right click on it, and then you can save image, and then you can print your own cover sheets. If you don't have a cover sheet for your things, then you can print like a cover sheet for your product. Well, anyway, so I did that. I didn't do that because I actually have the original image, but I printed 2 to a page so that I could do some demonstration for you guys. So it prints 2 to a page like this. I tell it to print 2 to a page, and then I cut it down. So that's what I did for a lot of these, because I wanted to show what the different foils look like, and I wanted to see what they look like on each one of the background designs. So I thought that was pretty clever, and it's a small piece, so it wasn't like wasting a bunch of foil and stuff. So this one's like the rose gold look, and then this one's like the gold, and then this one is like the champagne gold. I didn't do a very good job when I didn't have the foil flat, so that's kind of important. That's why there's some gaps. Although on the listing itself, you'll see there's like a white box under the set number 6, so that won't foil anyway. So anyway, so there's that, and then those were all on the mink, and then I'll show you the difference. Oh look, before I forget, there's white on black. This one, it was a little bit more challenging, like the collage, it just covered it completely. But it still looks kind of cool, right? And then here is the rose gold on black. See how neat that looks? So just, you can print on colored cardstock, so just another option. And then I also printed, this is one that I printed onto coffee stained paper, right? I have one that we're gonna run through the mink machine. I already have one prepped and ready to go, so that's what it looks like. And then here, oh, here's the one on the acetate, right? It's so pretty. And then here's one on vellum, right? So there's that one, super pretty. And then you can distress the vellum if you want. But I wanted to show you what they look like. Okay, so the mink machine does a way better job than a laminator, but it's not, you don't absolutely have to have the mink machine. So this one is the mink machine, right? It's perfect, oh, well, almost perfect. And then this one is the laminator. So can you see where it's like, it's kind of like a little bit more distressed looking. So you may like that look. So there we go. I'm trying to get into the light there. So like the distressed stripe here is more solid and this is more distressed looking. So a laminator will work just fine. So there is the rose gold, the difference, and then here is the shiny gold. You see how it looks just a little more distressed from the laminator. So mink laminator, right? And then here is the champagne gold. Trying to get it in the light. Those don't look that different, but I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see it, but this one definitely is splotchy, more distressed looking. So you might want that. So either way, you know, if you've got a laminator and you've got the mink machine, you've got more options. So I did want to show you that, but I'm gonna show you that again in person so that you can see it in action. So we're gonna do that here in just a minute. So we're gonna be, let's see, we're gonna do the plain. We're gonna foil the plain white cardstock. This is 80 pound white cardstock. I'll have it linked down below if you want to check it out. It's my favorite. We're going to run the envelope through the Mink, and we'll even distress it, and we'll put a wax seal on it if you want to. I just love the way that turned out. We're going to, I've got a few more things printed here. We're going to do the coffee stained paper one. We're going to do an acetate one, or transparency. We're going to do the vellum one, and we'll do a black one. So this is on black cardstock. I believe this is Recollections cardstock. I'm almost 100% sure. And then I was flipping through some things, and I found I'd printed this set. This was a vintage envelope out of my vintage envelope sets. I'd printed this out and didn't use it for whatever reason, so I printed on the back side. So it's hard to see, but there's some of the vintage collage purple, pastel purple, solid background back here, and then I printed the polka dots on top. I just thought it might be kind of cool to have an envelope with polka dots. I don't know, we'll see. And then I may even cut this out. I haven't decided yet if I want to laminate the whole thing, or I'm sorry, if I want to foil the whole thing or not. But anyway, and then same with this. I mean, why not? Why not foil the whole thing? This is a big coffee stained stripe. We may not do that because we are doing the coffee stains over here. And then this is from the pink, pastel pink vintage collage set. I love this one. I think we're going to be using this in our next project as well. And then I printed the green background design from the green set on the back, and then I printed the script over top. I thought this would be really pretty. We could actually use these because I think I'm using the pink and the green and the neutral in the next project, because I did a poll on Facebook, and everybody was like, yeah, that's cool, works for me. So I think I'll use this. So I'm going to use the right color that I think will go with that collection. But anyway, so yeah, so we'll do those. So let me move some things and get the machines out, and then I will be right back. Okay, so here is what I have. I have a Mink machine. This is a high day swap. This is the large one. It's so big I can't get both of these under my camera view. This is, I think there's two sizes. This is the large one, and I think there's a smaller one that's like half the size. I will have this linked below. I won't link the smaller one because I don't know anything about the smaller one, but I'm sure it's probably the same thing. But I will link this machine below. But if you do a lot of foiling, or you think you're going to do a lot of foiling, like those wedding invitations, that was a lot of foiling. I know it doesn't seem like it would be much, but it was. It was a lot of foiling, and I'm glad I did it. And I've used it on and off for different things, but nothing like that ever again have I done. Not yet, anyway. But it's just a good like thing to have, like to add that extra little something something, if you like that. Okay, so I think all you have to do for the Hottie Swap one is you turn it on, and there's where you feed in your material there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and preheat mine to 4. I'm sure there's, I don't have my book anymore. I'm sure there's an explanation for all 5 of those settings. And then I'm just gonna set this aside and let it heat up. Okay, so then this one, I have a little story about this one. This is just a Scotch laminator, and I'm going to turn it on here. Maybe. Here we go. And I'm gonna turn it on to the 5 mil. And this one you only do like a letter size. So this one will do 12 by 12 size papers, and this one will only do a letter size. But I have a story behind this one. I don't know if you guys remember. I used to have a laminator that had like tape on it, and I'd have to hold the button, and it was just a pain in the tushy. Well, one of my dear, sweet subscribers, Heather, I think it's D'Angelo, Heather D'Angelo, sent this to me back in December of 2019. Look, and I've talked to her. I talked to her back then, and I was flabbergasted. She sent this to me just as a small token of appreciation. It was just really, really, really sweet. I'm not going to read the whole letter. Oh, look how fast that one heated up. But it was really sweet, and she really made me feel better. She really made my day. But so this laminator, what came with this laminator? Okay, I heard you, or is it you beeping? Are you ready already? This is the laminator. This is the booklet. And then it also came with a free wall safe tape. I haven't used it yet, but I just thought I would show you. I've had all this sitting together, so if I finally showed it on video, because I do, you know, I do use my laminator, I just haven't used it on video. So this is the, anyway, thank you again, Heather. I just wanted to say thank you. You're so very, very sweet. I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, so I really like it. Thank you. So this one's gonna heat up and be ready to go. I'm gonna scoot my candle out of the way. I'm gonna scoot this one up. Okay, so I think when I bought, no, I bought this separate. So this is, obviously, it's called a transfer folder, and there's 3 of them in this pack. I don't know if they still come this way or not. What have we got in here? I've got different little leftover pieces. So they're big. You know, you can put a full 12 by 12 sheet of paper in here. So I have this, and I don't know why, but I don't have all my pieces. Maybe I have something stored somewhere else. I'm not really sure. So I've got one in there, and then I have one here. Oh, there's 2 in here. There we go. So I must have gotten 2 packs because I have these 2. And look, you can see where I've used that one. Look at, and that, can you see that? The foil's in there. I just left it from where I foiled the last thing. So I'm gonna need this. And then I also must have gotten one in the box, but I don't know what I did with the other half. So then I cut it in half. So this is like half of one. And I'm pretty sure, maybe not. Where did this come from? Maybe it came this way. No, that doesn't make any sense. I guess it could have. I don't remember. That's how long it's been. But I know you could cut it in half if you wanted to just use smaller pieces and not have the whole big thing running through the machine. You could cut, you know, if you were making a bunch of small things, you could cut it down. So I've got that. And then, oh, here's that sheet that I got all the different cool, that I used over and over and over and over and over again. And you can see like the text and stripe? What else can you see in here? Probably can see script somewhere. It was just really cool. Yeah, there's the script down there. So you can't see it as well throughout here, but anyway, it was just, it really made a really cool effect. I left that in there so I could show you again. Okay, and then I have a handmade sheet of paper. So you don't have to have these foil or these plastic pockets. You can use paper, and to be honest with you, if you're going to use a laminator, these plastic pocket thingies are too thick, really, depending on your laminator. When I ran, the first time I tried the laminator with foil, it did not take at all. I ran it through like 3 or 4 times, and it just didn't work. So then I did it with just a piece of paper instead. This is like just regular copy paper instead of the plastic folder, and it did way better. So that's why I have this out. So it's just a piece folded in half. So let me move the rest of this out of the way that I don't need. Let's first do the comparison between the laminator and the Mink machine. What did I just, here we go. So I've got my 2 white pieces of cardstock here. Oh, the garbage truck's out front. I hope it doesn't get too loud. And I'm just going to use this shiny gold one for that. Whoop. Oh, what? Okay. There's even dust on the boxes. I'm so bad. You get a lot of product in here, so I know that box said it was $10. I'm sure I didn't pay $10 for it. I'm probably used like a coupon. Anyway. So I'm just gonna roll this out. It seems like it's super delicate, but it's really not that bad. And then I'm gonna eyeball it. Because you wanna make sure you cover the, whatever piece it is that you're laminating. Just cutting it with scissors. I'm gonna put this back in the box. Then I'm gonna cut it in half. Okay, so for one of them, I'm just going to lay the foil over top. And for the Mink, I'm gonna stick it in the plastic folder. And you probably can just use paper for the mink as well. But you wanna kind of make sure to smooth it down. So then for this one, I'm gonna put the foil over top of the image, and then I'm gonna stick it in the paper, in between the two paper. Okay, flatten that down. So both of these will feed it itself, so I don't have to do anything, thank goodness. So you just stick it in there, the folded side down first. That's what you want to feed in there, and then the same thing for the mink. I'm gonna feed the closed folded end first, and it's just going to, it'll take a minute. But I'm going to leave it on because it really doesn't take that long. But this is it does give you such a really pretty effect. So if you really like that little extra bit of bling in your projects, then you may want to look at the foils. And, you know, obviously you have to have like a toner base, like a laser base. Where you're seeing how quick the Scotch laminator did. And then when it comes out, you just kind of want to maybe rub it just a little, just to make sure that it stays stuck to the black toner. So you can obviously not just do this with my backgrounds, but you can do it with any black and white image. You know, you can print off anything black and white on a laser and then foil it, and it looks super cool. So, all right, the mink's almost done. I'll set this aside here. Whew, the mink does get a little hotter. Well, the plastic sleeve gets a little hotter, really. So I'm gonna take a minute. I'm just gonna press. These are really, really tiny, tiny printed images. So just want to make sure we get it on there good. So let's start with the laminator one. I found the opening. Alright, so I'm just going to peel it up like this. Oh, it did so good, you guys. Look how good it did. Wow. That really did amazing. That did a great job. Okay, am I smoking over here? I feel like my mink might be super hot. Let me turn that down for a minute. Okay, so there is the laminator version, which it looks fantastic. And then here is the mink version. Peel that away. Ooh, look how good it looks. Okay. So you can tell the difference between, I'm trying to shift it into the light, between the laminator and the mink. So the laminator gives a really distinct distressed look, which is super cool. And then the mink gives, you know, it's almost 100% perfect. Such a pretty transfer of foil. Okay. So I wanted to show you the difference, but they're both good. So if you have a laminator, get you some foil and foil to your heart's content. If you have a mink, well, get your mink out, or maybe you don't. Maybe you want to laminate it and have that more distressed look. So I guess it would depend on your project. Yeah, which project you're doing and what kind of look you're going for. So super pretty, super pretty. Okay, now let's see. Let's move these two sheets. I am going to turn my laminator off. I'm just going to use my mink from here on out. So then what do I want to do next? Let's do the envelope. No, let's not. Let's wait for that. Let's do these four. Right? I just kind of want to just show you. I just want to show you how pretty it is. It might seem a little wasteful, and it might be, but I just want to show you. So I'm going to get some foil back out. Let's just go ahead and use the gold again. I think I'm going to be using the rose gold for the next project. So I don't want to use a lot of it right now, because I don't want to have to go to the store and get some more. So I'm going to use this gold. So I'm gonna cut, how many squares do I need? 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna cut 4 of these squares, and then I will be right back. Okay, I cut 4 squares. I don't think I cut very good squares. I don't think they cover the whole thing, but that's okay. That's all right. Neither here nor there. Okay, so let's start with the coffee stained paper. Like, I didn't look. The squares are not that big. Ah! Oh well. Oh well. It's all right. And then you just want to smooth it down and run it through. So while the first one's going there, I'm going to go ahead and put the foil on these pieces so that they're ready. Okay, so then take that one out, and it looks like that. And what I love about the coffee stained one is that it doesn't cover entirely, so it does leave some of that black, and I really like the way that looks. I really like that distressed vintage look, besides the fact that it didn't cover the whole thing. So you just have to overlook that. Really, really like that. And let me set this piece aside, and let's put the acetate transparency paper. Let's put that through. Oops. And just want to smooth it down. Okay, we're going to smooth this one out. Really give it a press. And let's peel this one up. It's so pretty. Look at that. Isn't that neat? I just love it. They would be great little accent pieces on that acetate. Let me move it to where it's not so glary. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. There we go. There we go. Then let's do this vellum. Look, the toner's transferring onto the... You're supposed to have it covered. You're not supposed to have anything sticking out on the side like that, but don't do what I do, right? I just didn't want to waste the foil, and I didn't want to cut another sheet, so. And careful, it's hot when you first pull it out, so you want to be a little gentle with your fingers so that you don't hurt yourself. And so then this one is the the vellum. So pretty. Look, isn't that pretty? Then you could totally, we're just going to do this because why not? Then you could totally ink that vellum up, and it just looks so like vintage. I don't know if you can really tell in this light, but then the last one we have is the black. So this is the black cardstock. And then the black cardstock. Give it a good push. And here we go. Wow. Check it. Isn't that cool? So that'd be a fun little accent as well, I think. Super, super cute. Okay, so those are that. I just wanted to demonstrate all of those different little things and that they do work. Especially if you cut the foil large enough to cover the surfaces. So I wanted to show you that. Now let's do the envelope. this one here. So in order for this to, I want to be able to use it in my new project that we're getting ready to start. I'm going to use the rose gold, just like I'm going to use when I foil the big sheets here in just a second. But yeah, I am going to go ahead and foil the whole sheets of the large sheets because I want to show you we're using the same piece of foil over and over and over, the effect that it gives. It's super cool. Alright, I'm just going to cut a piece that is big enough for this envelope, even though it's not completely printed on. I wonder what I did with the piece that I foiled originally, used to foil originally. I can't find it. Okay, so I'm going to slide this under here. Then we're going to put it in here. And we're going to run the whole thing through. Okay, that one's hot. Hot, 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 hot. Okay, so let's remove this out of here. And then there it is. Look it, is that not super cool? Okay, so if you wait to the end of the video, look at even the heat kind of sealed it shut a little bit. If you wait to the end of the video, I will show you how I got the envelope to look like, what did I do with it? How I got the envelope to look like this. So if you wait to the end of the video, we will do that just really quick. But I want to go ahead and get the rest of the foiling done first. So I've got the full plastic sleeve that goes into the mink. I cut a piece of the rose gold-ish, I don't know, does it have a color? Surely it has a color on here. Yeah, rose gold, reactive foil right there. I cut a piece of that to fit the 8.5 by 11 prints. So I'm going to use the same sheet for all 3 of these pages. So first I'm going to do the script, then I'm going to run the polka dot, and then I'm going to run the stripes, just so I can show you what happens. It's so cool. So I'm going to stick the script in there, and I'm going to stick this page over top there. Okay, we're going to let that cool down for just a second because it's hot. Hot, 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 hot. I'm going to just, it's kind of like burnishing when you're doing this. When you're pressing, it's just like burnishing just a little, I think. Okay. So I'm going to try to leave that sheet there and just take out the page. So check that out. Look at how cool that looks. So I'm going to set this in with the papers that we're going to be using for the next album, because that is so pretty. Well, I'm not going to set it right there right now, but I'm going to add that to them. So that, okay, so then we have the polka dots. So I'm going to slide this under here, under that same sheet. Can you see it under there? I'm trying to get it in the same spot. Well, best I can. Doesn't really matter. I don't guess that much. Okay. Same spot. Okay, and then I'm going to run this through. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it on the polka dots very much, but can you see there's a little bit of the script like you know, you can see the black through there, so you can see the script, the black script, just because the foil was already gone from the sheet, so it didn't transfer onto the polka dot, right? So that one's really subtle because there's not a whole lot, you know, there's not a solid black image there. So then one more, I'm going to take this stripe and I'm going to place this under here. You should be able to really see it on the stripe. I mean, if you really want to get serious, you could get like a burnishing tool out to really get it on there. Not necessary. Okay, so then here we go. I mean, obviously, clearly you can see there's not foil over all of the image, so it's not going to foil every little piece of black on this piece. And it's going to look so cool. It did a really good job, actually. It didn't do the same. Let me find that sheet. It didn't do the exact same as this one here did, where you can see the script and stuff really, 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 really well. Or it's not script, it's like text, I believe. I probably sent it through very many. So, but you can definitely see where the polka dots were missing. So that's kind of cool. So you can just keep layering and layering and layering and layering, and it just looks really, really neat. And, oh look, you can see down there pretty good. See all that different, yeah, and it just looks really, really cool. So this is just a piece of coffee stained paper that I printed the black stripe on, and it looks really neat. So I'm going to be, these two here, I'm going to put in with the paper collection that it's this paper collection. So I'll put that in the mix too. Why not? So that'll be part of the stuff we can use in our next project. And then, okay, so this piece, I am going to cut these envelopes out off camera, and then we'll put it together. Let me move my mink. And then let's do this one really quick. Let's do the envelope. I'm going to bring my candle back in because I want to put a wax seal on this one as well. So how did I get this look? And, ooh, this one's dirty. This is supposed to be a really pretty white color. It's not. I've got a piece of cardstock in there, so when I fold it, it doesn't go crazy. So it's dry. There's nothing on here. It's not going to transfer. Well, it might, because it might have distress ink on it or whatever. So I'm just going to take my walnut stain and Distress Oxide, and we are going to add color to this entire envelope. So this is just one of those standard security envelopes. You could probably, this is probably the same size as like the mail, the envelopes that you get through the mail. You could definitely repurpose those if you would like and print on them and make them super pretty. I don't know about the ones that have like the clear window. That might melt in a laser printer. Oh, I will tell you too. Can you see the gold or the foiling on my ink pad now? Because it's kind of wiping off just a little bit, so it's giving it like a bit of a distressed look, kind of like the laminator would give it if I used the laminator instead of the mink. Okay, so I'm just going to cover a little bit more like that, right? So that's what this one side, I guess I need to open this. I don't have to, I guess I could leave it just like this. Well, you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. So, okay, so that's inked, not inked. So let's go ahead and ink this side, because the ink machine did seal that, because it's, you know, it's got like a gummy thing for the flap to close that you're supposed to lick or moisten to close. So we're going to do this. And you don't have to be super clean and neat about it. The sloppier is probably the better. Okay, so we got that. Both sides inked up. I was thinking, I didn't do it with this one, but I was thinking about adding some of this, the black soot, around the edges a little. And just see what that does. I inked it after the fact with the black soot a little. So let's do it before and see what happens. I kind of got my tool at an angle because I don't want to go really far in. Let's just add just a little bit on the back. I'm just barely putting any on here. But why not? Let's experiment and see what happens. So then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a water bottle. This is a distress sprayer. Ooh, it's almost empty. A Tim Holtz distress sprayer. And I'm just going to get the whole envelope wet. And then I'm going to flip it. Get this whole side wet. I'm going to have to get my other water bottle. Flip it again. Okay. So you could let this dry on its own. I'm hoping this will come apart for me. I probably needed to sit just a little longer. There we go. Because most likely the whole thing will come apart and you'll have to glue it back together. If you want to. You don't have to. You can just leave it be. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a heat gun and I'm going to dry it. Okay, I got it fully dry, but look at the difference between adding the black before you get the envelope wet and adding the black after. So this was after it was all dry. I just did the little edges, and this was like before. What do we think? They both look really cool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they don't, you know, neither one of them are like, ooh, no. I like them. Okay, so look, the whole thing came apart as I expected, and it's still just a little damp, right? So, look at that. It's still just a teeny bit damp, and I thought about adding more brown, but like this back sides here, maybe you can, no, I don't know if you can really see it or not, the difference. I can see it in person, but anyway, what do we think? I think I'll just leave it. I think I'll leave it just like that. But I am going to glue it back together. Let me move this out of the way. And I'm going to get my mat out for my wax seals. Move this. Before I start gluing, I'm going to grab the little thingy. And I like that purple color. I'm going to grab it again. So I have a whole basket here. Here it is, right there. I had to root for it. So this is 3 different colors are in here of the purple. I will try to link this down below. I get it on Amazon, but aren't they pretty? I'm going to use this one right here. So I'm going to grab 2 of those because that's what I used on that other one. Drop it in there and let that melt. In our last project, and we might even use them in this project too. We used this one with the 3 different like pink reddish toned colors, so we've got that one as well. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to close this back up. I'm using art glitter glue. I'm just, whoa, in my new big old bottle here. I'm just going to run just a little bitty bit of glue in my special stopper topper from Michelle that she made special for Genevieve Designs. Look at that pretty. Okay, I will link that down below as well. And if you're watching this video at a certain time, then she currently has a 20% off coupon code for her stopper toppers. I will link her shop down below. I might have it looks like it kind of, maybe I didn't put it together very well. Look at that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. It's totally fine. Actually, I am. I'm going to pull it back apart. It's not totally fine because it made it fold funny. There we go. Hopefully that glue will hold. Did I do it again? I did it again. I'm going to have to re-glue it. Okay. So now I'm going to flip it this way. And there. I've got an H for Harrison. Actually, let's do a different one. Let's do the this rose one. I stamped it in my paper clay to make a paper clay, what's it called? A paper clay wax seal. Look at me shaking. I need to eat. So I'm just going to pour that right onto there. And if you haven't seen my paper clay video, it's not my paper clay video, it's my fancy tape dispenser. Turn the ordinary into extraordinary. If you have not seen this, oh, look what the ink machine did to my tape. It was right next to it and it melted it. Okay, let's take that piece off. Whoop. It kind of like made it, you know, come in on itself. That's too funny. If you haven't seen this video, this is a lot of fun. I will link it up here in this corner and down below. But yeah, very cool technique if you want to, easy technique if you want to learn how I did that. So I'm going to let that cool for a minute. Let that cool. So it'll be the same, except it's not going to be an H, it's going to be a heart. But it does look really different. I like it. I think it turned out really cool. So, I think that cooled enough. Oh, look at there. Some of the paper clay stuck to it, but that's okay. I'll figure out a way to get that off. Look how cool that looks. So when we fold the envelope back, looks like that. Isn't that pretty? I just love that look. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so really quickly, I cut the two envelopes out where we did the foiling on them. I cut them out and I glued this one together already and I inked the outside edges. So I'm going to glue this one together really quick, but isn't that just super cute? Just the super cute. So all these little touches, these little bitty things, like what if you just had this little envelope in your journal? It's just something super cute and fancy about it. Super cute. I need to quit saying super cute. Everything is super cute. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this shut really fast. I feel like my art glitter glue is a little runny. I wonder if I need to shake it up. Okay, so now I've got a super cute little envelope. A little foiled envelope. Okay, you guys, so that's all I have. This is finished. The cute little envelope is finished. All these are finished. That's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gave you a little bit of insight on how easy it is to use foiling. What's it called again? It's called reactive foil. How easy it is to add just a little bit of bling to any project at all. And it doesn't even have to be a lot of bling. So yeah, I will put a link below, down below in the description box to my background designs. I will link anything and everything else that I said I would link. I'll link that down below as well. And I hope you guys give it a try. So you'll have to let me know. Let me know how it works out. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And turn that bell notification on. And then not only do you have to turn the bell notification on, but then you have to say, yes, notify me all the time for this channel. So that way you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. So that is all I have, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.